All right, guys. Y'all get y'all's pens and papers ready. Let me turn this light out and see if it helps out any. We're going to make some pickled eggs. All right. The ingredients we're going to use are 12 hard-boiled eggs, 2 to 3 sprigs of dill, and let's see here. A couple of garlic cloves, 3 cups of white vinegar, 1 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 large onion, 1 bay leaf, 1/3 cup of sugar, and 4 teaspoons of pickling spice. This is the pickling spice that we use, McCormick's pickling spice. I'll get right back with you. I got to get the eggs going. Okay. Let me explain something to y'all. I have chickens and I have eggs, and I get a bunch of eggs. But the problem is, I do not feed my eggs oyster shell. It's not that I don't want to, I just have not done it yet. And when you boil fresh chicken eggs, they are extremely hard to peel. Extremely hard. So they had these at the store really cheap. And I don't get the large ones, I get the medium size. You can get large, because we're going to be putting them in the quart size jar. But I find that steaming them, and we've had this steamer here a long time, but I'll put them in there on the steamer. I'll put all 12 of them in there, and I'll steam them for about 25 minutes, and they will crack. You'll put them in cold water when they're done, and they'll crack and come right out of their shell, no problem, easy peasy. And then we'll go from there. I'll be back. Alrighty, guys, the eggs are done steaming. They're extremely hot. I have a bowl of ice water, and I am going to put them in the ice water one at a time. That'll make them easier to crack and easier to peel. Not easier to crack, but easier to peel for our pickled eggs. Let me get this done, get the eggs peeled, and I'll be right back with y'all. Alrighty, I'm going to go over these ingredients again to make sure I didn't leave anything else out, so get your pen and paper handy and do a checklist. We have a dozen hard-boiled eggs, 2 to 3 sprigs of dill, got it right there, 1 garlic clove, right there, 3 cups of white vinegar, that would be that big one right there, 1 cup of water, that's that one right there, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 large onion, onion right there, 1 bay leaf, which I do not have a bay leaf. I'm surprised we are out. 1/3 cup of sugar, 4 teaspoons of pickling spice. I got it right there. 4 teaspoons of pickling spice. And we're going to add all these ingredients into the saucepan except for the eggs, the garlic, and the dill. So, let's get our saucepan. Let's add the vinegar. And we'll add the water. Let's go ahead and add the onions. Doesn't seem like a lot of onions, but they're all going to be inside that one jar. This is enough ingredients to do 2 of those quart-sized jars, and I only bought 1 dozen eggs. So we'll add the pickling spice in there. Man, that stuff smells so good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in It didn't call for these peppers, but I like spicy pickled eggs, so I put that in there. I'm going to go ahead and put the sugar. Put the sugar in there. And on the salt, I generally do not like salt on anything too much. So I might, well, I'll go ahead and put the whole thing. Because it's going to boil down and it's just going to kind of flavor the eggs. So only thing I have left is the dill and the garlic and the eggs. I got to bring this to a boil. Get the oven going. Oh, it smells so good, guys. Get it over the fire. Get it boiling. Also, that's my watering pan. We have filtered water at this house. We're on a community well, but I will still boil the water and filter it again before we drink it or use it, just in case. Alrighty, I'll be right back. Get this water boiling. We're going to bring the water to a boil, and then we're going to put it on simmer for 5 minutes. And then we're going to layer the eggs, the garlic, the dill, and put the good stuff on it. But let me get this mixed up. Let me find me a whisk in my whisking drawer. There we go. Get this all mixed up good because you don't want your sugar to burn on the bottom of the pan. And once this comes to a boil, I'll turn it down to simmer for 5 minutes. We'll be right back. Alright, it's been simmering for about 5 minutes. I'm going to turn this light back on so we can see. And what we're going to do here is we're going to throw a couple of garlic cloves in there. And we're going to put a layer of eggs down in there. 3 or 4. That's 3 that fit pretty snug. Little sprig of, well, let me break some of that off. I love the dill, and I'm currently growing some. And we wash this and sterilize this jar. I'll wash my hands too. Get some of this. Pour it in. Actually, I did that wrong. I'm supposed to get all my eggs stacked in there first. So let me stack my eggs in. I'll put more garlic. Kind of layer the garlic. A little more dill. Get my tongs here because it says to put little pieces of onion in there. I'm going to try to get some onion put in there. It's all in the pot. The onion's in it. Put another layer of eggs. Put some more garlic. As y'all can tell, I love garlic. Garlic is really good for you. Good for your blood. It's got antibiotics in it. And I love dill, so I'm going to stuff a dill in there. Try to grab some more onions out of this pot. I got one, I think. Yeah. Trying to get a couple of them. Cooked onions. And I love onions too, guys. Sorry about the steam if it's clogging you up. Put a couple of onions in there. Put some more eggs in the jar. And the dill kind of really makes it pretty and stand out. I'll go ahead and put a spicy pepper in. Try to get it stuffed in there. And I'm also going to put this other pepper in that I cooked in with the juice. I like my spicy pickled eggs. Kind of hard to do this with one hand, but I'll get it. Now I can put my juice in there. And I try to get a lot of this. You can see all this stuff floating. I'll try to scoop up a lot of that goodness. It's the pickling spice. And just pour it in. This ain't like what we were canning pickles the other day. You don't have to boil the jars to seal them. This is a process that you the jar will seal itself. So let me get my napkin, which I am sorry to say I should have already had it. I didn't. And there's the steamer we've had for years. But you're going to wipe down the rim real good. Check for any broken glass or anything. Make sure you get it all cleaned up. And see how it looks in there, all pretty. It's still kind of hot. And the eggs were cold. We'll put the lid on it. And we'll tighten her up. Finger tight. A little bit more than finger tight on these. And give me 1 second. There we go. And that's how you pickle eggs. Now, other ways you can do it is with beets. Get you a can of beets and chop up the beets real fine and put in with the eggs and use the beet juice in your pot. And it'll make them really red and pretty. And I just didn't do the beets this time. You can alternate your salt. You can put less sugar in it if you want. The sugar really helps to bring out the flavors, and the salt does too. But I'm not a big salt fan. You can ask Teresa. I've never been a big salt fan. But anyway, guys, that is it. That's our pickled eggs. You let them sit. I usually let these things sit let that thing seal. And I'll let these eggs sit overnight to really cool off. And then I'll refrigerate them. And they'll be sealed. And I won't touch these eggs or eat these eggs for a week. I'll let them sit and soak up all that vinegary, spicy, dilly, garlicky, oniony goodness. See how pretty that is? So, y'all grab y'all's balls and get to canning. I like to use the ball jars. And if I left anything else out, I'm sure that my beautiful wife Teresa will be in the comment section telling me, well, why didn't you do this or why didn't you do that? But I followed the directions pretty good. I used pickling salt. I tasted it. Tastes just like regular salt to me. So I don't think that pickling salt is necessary. It's real fine though. Anyway, now I got a mess to clean up before she gets home. And flogs my dog for messing up her kitchen. Alright guys, God bless each and every one of y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this pickle and egg video. And we will talk to y'all later.